you?
Okay, one of the things that it did, and at a personal level, that you became somebody that actually listened to me and was able to not only listen, but to give back what I was saying in a way that I needed to hear it. That's one. Two, when we did the second part, it was all about covering my bullshit that's holding me back with something positive that I really love, something positive that I really can identify with, and masking that. Um, and because of that, I knew that there was a lot of things because of all the stuff that I told you that went into the first part about my health. We'll just say that. We'll just say that.
Hmm.
I knew that I needed to do something, but what was holding me back was not having the gumption or the tenacity to go ahead and do it, regardless of what, you know. So the very next day or the next 2 days after we had that second part, I went and joined the gym and made that my dedication. And like I said earlier, subsequently led to me doing a video every morning, which will subsequently lead to me creating my 21-day, I guess, empowerment sessions that people could just log on and get for free just to get me out there. So that, again, I look where subsequently, apparently, that I'll be hired or looked at as a professional in this genre so that I can go ahead and live my dream of being a speaker. So what you did for me was bring clarity to who I really was and what I really wanted in my life to happen, and the tenacity and gumption to go forth and get it done.
So it really did help you.
Dude, that's why I'm helping you.
Okay. Because the thing was, remember, I, I know that after it happens, the first 1 or 2 days, things are still settling in, but I never really know how it brings clarity to the person because sometimes it's so deep, you don't always catch everything and you can't always consciously communicate it. So I never really followed up with you again, but I didn't know that everything that subsequently that happened. I just thought that that was on your plan, and you're just going down the list of the things that you had already planned to do. I don't know. I didn't know to what degree it gave you further that much more clarity to where it's. I don't know how much of an effect that it created or influence it created for you to be doing everything that you're doing now. I believe that it is connected, but I don't know ratio wise. I don't know. I don't know if it was like, okay, I'm already getting ready to do it. So now I have more clarity. So I feel like I could jump into it more. I didn't know. I
Yeah,
really didn't.
that's good that we're having this particular conversation because now you know what to do with the people that you've done this for in the past, and literally ask them, well, how did it help you? What did you get out of it, honestly? And this way it'll give your own self clarity as to moving in the right direction. Well, we already know you're moving in the right direction. That's just a given because of what you did for me. So as far as I'm concerned, you're the guy for the job. Um, but you got to get feedback to make sure that what you're doing, that people understand why the life has changed and how it came about to be that way.
Right, right, right. Because quite often, a lot of people, it's not until after the process that they can say, okay, I could really see the value of, you know, why of how valuable this is. I couldn't see it from before,
Mm-hmm.
you know
Yeah,
and it's not always the easiest thing to just sit and explain either.
right. Because my own idiosyncrasies of what I'm not happening, what I'm not doing, I was before I met you. Every day that went by prior to me meeting you was a day that was easier not to do what I knew that I should be doing. So I got very comfortable in the fact that I'm not doing anything, and I'm okay with that. But because of uncovering who I am and who I want to be, what my actions were doing prior to us meeting was not in reflection of that. So I literally had to have it put back in my face, dude, this is who you are. This is what you're about. Get off your ass and do something about it. And that's pretty much what I think you can share with and do for a lot of people, man. They just need somebody to listen to them and give it back in a way that they could see themselves. Like one of your posts about being see your reflection in the mirror. It's just like that, and people have to realize that the power is within them already. Miyamoto Musashi has a great poem, and I'll when I remember it, I'll definitely um, send it to you. But paraphrasing, it says that everything you need to become richer, faster, smarter, healthier is already within you. You just have to get back to who you truly are to make those things manifest in your life. And you're the guy to unlock that. You're the guy that did unlock that for me.
We'll say that again. You're what?
And you're the guy who did unlock that for me.
Thank you. That really kind of it helps. It really helps me in many ways.
You can see my background, right?
Yeah.
Right. So actually the day after we did our thing, I went and printed out a whole bunch of motivational stuff. I'm looking at my camera, but I'm looking at the that.
You're looking at the big screen.
Yeah, right. So I have Will Smith on there. I have who else? Of course, The Rock, because that's my dude. I have oh, definitely. Damn, it's really late apparently. Robert Downey Jr. Just certain quotes that they had. I even have Denzel Washington up there. Dream big, and I put those things on all my walls actually. Well, I'll pan around one day and you can see all my walls about always keeping things in my head and in my vision that wherever I look in my house, there's something there that says keep going. There's something there that says don't relinquish the power of yourself that you've gotten through what Roger has taught you. Because it's really easy to forget what you've been through because the whole monotony of what you used to do was always try to keep creeping back into your life. And it's not until you always reflect on who you now truly are and the true goals that you have as a result of that, you have to keep things in your vision. And I'll be honest with you, I stopped calling a few people that were pity partiers, because I don't want that in my life anymore. They call me every day, hey, you okay? Blah, blah, blah. I said, I'm good. And I told one, listen, the reason why I've been calling you is because I'm on a new journey that I don't think that we mesh. So I'm sorry, but I have to do this for myself. And yeah, it was hard to make those phone calls. These are guys that I was hanging out with for like past 2-3 years. You know what I mean? But I realized in reflection of our conversations that we were having, it was like, I hate the world. Nothing's going to work out for me. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to the gym. Are you? No, great. We'll don't work out together. And those kind of people, although you might love them, although they might love you, not everybody is there for your best interest. Not that they're bad people. It just, after, doing that session with you, I knew who I needed to stay away from, and I'll find new friends because as I go through this journey, I'll meet people that are like-minded and on the same road to where I'm going, and then we'll build from there. And the people that I left behind, if they want to come up and do what they need to do, I'm there for them. I'm not going to say, no, we can't hang out anymore at all. But if we do hang out, understand that this is where I'm going, and these are the conversations I'm going to have. And I'm going to challenge you as I was challenged through you to have them figure out who they are. And maybe they need to meet you so that they can understand exactly why I am the man I am today. And as I progress and evolve as the real Gerald, they'll understand and hopefully get on the bus with me. I catch a ramble, but I really like what you done.
What happened?
I said I catch a ramble, but I like what you've done for me, so I'm excited to talk about it.
No, I mean, you have no idea how much that helps because remember, in my mind, this was just an example of kind of like where I wanted to go and what I could take it. Now, of course, when I was doing the session with you, I'm doing it for real, and based on what you're giving me and where I see that your strengths lie, that's what I'm using to kind of wash out or dilute all that other crap that, isn't working for you. So in my mind, it's like, okay, we're just doing a tester and all that. And we never even finished with it, but I never imagined how much of an impact it really had on you like this. I really didn't know. I know that it's deep, and because I created it with the point of just literally going to someone's core. So I know a shift will happen. I know it'll change, and I know that the majority of it's internal, And some people you may not see certain things, but you just have inclinations to do certain things and leave other things behind because it's not along that path of whatever of your core principle philosophy, in other words. So anything that's not part of that core principle philosophy tends to kind of fall away.
Yeah, it disappears, definitely.
Right. Yeah. So, wow. That's good.
It's kind of something I learned about, gosh, and I'm not even going to try to say what it is, but I'll explain what it is. Once you have a particular mindset, all you see is what's in line with your mindset. I think Tony Robbins alluded to it. He had a phrase for it, but I forgot. It might come up in the conversation as we talk about it. The day that I decided that I wanted a Crusher 300, all of a sudden they're everywhere because my subconscious actually got me to see what it is I want and brought that to the forefront and put everything behind. So I think that's what happened with our session. Everything that I wanted became forefront, and everything that wasn't in line with that thought process or me developing as the new me fell to the wayside. So now all I see is what I want to happen. And that is another thing that I got from the session. I mean, I knew what it is, but I never experienced it until you.
Oh man.
Yeah. So a lot of people just have to go bye-bye.
I can't wait to start working with people then. I also sent you an email when I was working on the Facebook page. There was a few pictures that I started kind of playing with and tinkering. So I sent them to you. So if anything looks good, you can kind of incorporate it there and just put it up. But it's along the basis of You Uncovered. Okay. Since that's the name of the protocol.
Right. Okay. So you want me to use this in the website and stuff I use from now on?
Wherever you feel that it could work, or if it doesn't work for now, don't use it. That's just, there. And I know that I got that from a free one, and the You Uncovered, I created it on Canva, so I don't have to worry about infringing anything.
Right.
It's mine.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's very neat and straight to the point, so consider it used.
All right. So I'll be working on this tomorrow. Please get some sleep. Wake up, work out, do your thing. I plan to do the same. And along the lines, last point of when you said that there were certain people that you needed to start kind of bringing out, but it just became clear to you to do that, right? You're always going to be if you want to see where your success is at or where it's headed, look at the 5 people you hang out with the most. And I'm sure you know that. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I either need to really focus on what it is that I need to do or get better friends. We all need to. That was the thing, because I didn't have that many people that I really hang out with. But if that's the case, right, we all need to step up together, or part and go our separate ways.
Right. And people are going to see this and immediately they're going to think of what people are going to say as a result of you moving on. If they're going to say anything negative about your progression, you don't need them in your life, because they're the ones that are going to stop you from achieving what you truly want.
Exactly.
And it's a very selfish thing to do.
Or at the very least, your belief as to what they're thinking is going to allow them to stop you. Yeah. You're stopping yourself. Yeah.
It's like fear, you know, false reality appearing real. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
False evidence.
Right,
False
right,
evidence appearing real. Yep.
right. It's the same thing with your friends. You know what I mean? And then you have to realize, are you strong enough to get rid of what's holding you back? Because only two things are gonna happen, guaranteed. Only two things can happen. Either they'll hate you and talk about you, or they'll congratulate you and support you. That's only two things that can happen. You know,
Yeah.
so let them pick what two they're gonna do and let it happen. And just know the first set, you don't need them anyway. They could be your husband, your wife, your kid, your mother, your father, those that are super close to you are probably the very people that are holding you back from discovering who you really are and then acting upon
Yeah.
it. See, I pay attention.
Yes, you did, man. So now, I mean, now I thank you. I don't know how to thank you enough because that little bit of input, although I knew I created something, but I wasn't attached to it so much. Now it makes me feel like, okay, you know what? I have something that I really can offer that it is unique and the reward will be after the person goes through it for them to see how their life is different. They can't see it looking ahead. They only have the promises of this is what's going to feel, this is what it's going to be. But when we get into the thick of it and we deep dive and then we start building and building and building, hopefully that word of mouth will really kick in and we'll see what happens. But it feels good, man. It almost feels like I have a business that I'm getting ready to just jump into